for New Zealand, the strange momentum of losses going into the semi-final. You're like, what's he on about? Well, they've had 3 losses while going in. They've only made it by the skin of their teeth, right? They've made it by the skin of their teeth. It's by net run rate that they've beaten Pakistan, who are the same number of points as them. And I guess that has happened because of the big wins that they had. So 2 reasons. One is, of course, the big win that they had, which was by 10 wickets in their first game. And as opposed to that, Pakistan had a really big loss. Right? So one's net run rate soared and one's really dropped, and then it just, despite Pakistan having the wins and New Zealand having those really close wins and the losses, it still ended like that, with New Zealand just inching ahead. My question to both Ajay and Zahir is, does this make a difference to New Zealand? Saying we're coming here, we've got lucky. We've sort of got lucky in a way, and we've gotten here. We've got 3 losses. How do they wipe that slate clean and saying, guys, it's a new day, it's a knockout, doesn't matter what happened, we're playing India, we've just got to go out and do our best. How do you put that behind you?
Over-dependence on Kane Williams.
First of all, can you?
Yeah, of course you can. Yeah. You've seen turnarounds of team within the World Cup.
Yeah.
You can look at South Africa. They've managed to beat Australia in the last game, which was table toppers. You've seen it with Sri Lanka, managed to beat England. You've seen it with Pakistan, managed to win four games in a row.
Yeah.
So in terms of getting things together and learning from the mistakes which they've been doing, it's possible. And so far, what has been their issue? Their issue has been over dependence on Kane Williamson and Ross Taylor.
The entire team is putting their luggage on one coolie's
but they've been
shoulders.
So they've been consistent with the ball.
Yeah.
They've had changes. Against England, they were the kind of platform which England had. None of the bowling attacks, very few bowling attacks would come back from that kind of scenario and restrict the team at for that kind of total on that track. So what does that show? They've been very consistent with their bowling. They've been having all these below par games thanks to their bowling.
Yeah.
What has not been coming together is against the game against Bangladesh as well, which should have been a very easy chase. It went down to the wire, and they lost 8 wickets getting those runs. So that is something which has been their concern right throughout the World Cup, and I'm sure that this break, what they will get before the semis, is going to help them get things together. And for India, it's very important when they're playing this team again in the semis. Don't give them that confidence that they can tackle with our bowling attack. The biggest tactic for the semi-finals, as far as India is concerned, is going to be, and the discussion what should happen is that how can you keep New Zealand batsmen in the same kind of zone mentally for them to have not any impact on the game. Because mind you, if New Zealand has any impact with the bat in the semis, is going to be very difficult.
Yeah, and especially if their openers check in, because their openers have not checked in this entire tournament. As you saw, the secret sauce with the first 3 teams we previewed, which is in the semi-finals, India, Australia and England, is the openers have been on fire. With these guys, the openers have been just on fire, like they're just setting themselves on fire because they're not getting any runs.
But look,
they're getting nothing.
Look at it from the other side.
Yeah.
There's a team that we're talking about who hasn't done well. They've all struggled. They've not had their best, but they're in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
So what are they capable of? That means they're actually capable of. I totally
they're bowling.
I totally agree with Zach. That's a team that actually you need to fear.
Yeah.
Because what happens is, in a tournament there are trends, and we talk about it. And somebody's playing like this, somebody's bowling in a certain way. So you start planning, and you look at the opposition and you say, here's a team for an Indian captain or Indian coach. How does he work out what bowling to play? Yeah. Because you won't not seen New Zealand play when they have been 120 for no loss. How are they going to play over number 20 to 45 when they are 120 for no loss?
Wow, that's a good
point.
So
because you say you pick teams, when you pick a team, you don't know whether you will be 20 for 3 or 220 for 3. Right? So similarly, the opposition also can be 20 for 3 or be 120 for 1. How are they going to play then? Who's the bowler that you're going to bowl against? So I think they are a dangerous side in that sense because they're all capable. You saw Grandholm? Grandholm. He, in a couple of games, whacked it really hard. They didn't win that game.
Did as well.
Neesham got a big 90. So this is guys who will come at the deciding time.
Latham came into form in the last game they played.
I thought
they were not getting any runs.
That's one full game that I saw. What timing he had. Everybody else was struggling timing.
Yeah.
Williamson, Ross Taylor, you've seen, right? So your friends of yours, if they check in the opening slot, what
Yeah.
happens then? Then they are a side as good as England or as good as Australia.
Yeah, that's the thing that's been lacking for them is the openers.
And the biggest thing that they have, the biggest strength that they have, and he mentioned about it, is when they held England back from that score of 220 for 1 or 2 to not letting them
Correct.
get to 360, which is what everybody imagined. Why it didn't happen is because of the captain, Kane Williamson.
Yeah.
He has a brain. He uses the cricketing brain to a different level to all the other captains that are around. So he uses his resources pretty well. So if their batting comes through, I'm with him. I mean, that's a team. I mean, everybody's happy from last night. Oh, we've got New Zealand in the semi-final.
Oh, no,
We don't-
not at all,
No,
no.
I'm saying comparatively.
Yeah, shouldn't be. Yeah, I'm with you.
So you haven't seen the best. So that is the team that I would fear the most, rather than with England. You know, this is the best. They're going to play like this. If they're 120 for this, 220 for this, this is how they're going to approach. So you can plan against them. But people you haven't seen at 100 for no loss or 110 for 1, you don't know what they're going to play like.
Haven't seen all their tricks. And I hope that we don't see all their tricks on Tuesday, because as Ajay is saying, if they pull out all the tricks from their bag, there's some dangerous tricks in there.